Good evening, class. My name is Rhonda Stewart. I am from Missouri. Uh, this has been an exciting class. It's been challenging. I just thank God that I made it through. I will be starting my PowerPoint off with the introduction, and I will be giving you a definition of what is interpersonal communication is. The key words used in interpersonal communication is listening and peace. Schultz and Badisky, 2015. From a Christian perspective, the foundational attitude for communication is gratitude. Schultz and Badisky, 2015. Our vision for interpersonal communication is the God-given potential in human beings to overcome their selfish tendencies and form life-giving relationships filled with joy and delight. Schultz and Badisky, 2015. Listening requires people to listen to others' thoughts and feelings. We need to give them our undivided attention. When we give people our undivided attention, it allows for the peace to flow out because people know that we truly care about how they feel. Gratitude is an attitude that shows thankfulness. It shows that we truly appreciate what others have to say. We need to put our selfish tendencies to the side and think about others. This is what God would want us to do as Christians. It is written in Philippians 2:4. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. King James Version. This verse lets us know that we need to consider others and their feelings, even though we may disagree with them. The next slide has to do with primary goals. I decided to use the lessons I learned throughout life, and my journey at school helps me to look at others in a different way. It gives me options on how I can help others overcome obstacles that they are facing in life. It opens doors to different ways on how to communicate with others. My goal in life is to become a better listener and be more attentive of what people have to say. I will take from my courses in interpersonal communication and use it when it comes to dealing with people. My next slide has to do with behavioral blend and background. The letter D, my strongest traits under there are challenge seeking, independent, determined, and headstrong. My strongest traits under I is persuasive, charming, sociable, and empathetic. My strongest traits under S is loyal, people-oriented, supportive, and cooperative. My strongest traits under C is knowledge-seeking, diligent, observant, logical, rational, and self-controlled. I have learned a lot over the past 8 weeks on how I can improve my communication skills. The one thing that has stuck in my mind is the talker-listener card that was mentioned in Peterson's book. I need to do less talking and more listening. This is true as far as my home life. Not listening well causes a lot of unnecessary confusion and pain. Peterson 2015. My next slide has to do with communication barriers. One of the communication barriers that stuck with me is the silent treatment, sometimes called stonewalling. This happens when we stop talking to others and retaliate for what that person's supposedly done to us. Schultz and Badisky, 2015. This is an issue that I have at work and home. My goal is to stop and think about how to respond to someone when they say something that I do not like or disagree on. Instead of the silent treatment, the best thing that can come out of a situation is being able to respond without hurting people's feelings. The other thing that is just as important when it comes to communication is being able to accept critical criticism. Critical criticism is to help a person grow in their communication with others. Sympathy is another communication barrier. Sympathy seeks to communicate concern by saying how you feel about the other person's difficulties. Francis and Winkle 2020. People does not want your opinion on how you feel about their difficulties. They want your help to find solutions to their problems. This is where I need to not be so opinionated because this is not my issues, it is someone else's issues. The conclusion is that interpersonal communication plays a big part in everyday life. It is written in Colossians 4:6. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. King James Version. How we communicate with others make a big difference. It is written in Proverbs 18:2, a fool hath no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself. King James Version. It is also written in Psalm 19:14, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. King James Version. The three verses that were used lets us know how we should communicate with others as a Christian. We should be understanding and be able to look at the whole picture. It does not matter if we agree or disagree. We are to help others just as Jesus helped others. Jesus is a perfect example to use when we are communicating with people. Class, that ends my PowerPoint on interpersonal communication. This was not easy for me because I'm not good at talking in front of other people. I hope God blesses you and that He will see you through this course and all the other courses that we are having to take in order to get our master's in human service counseling. I hope you have a good night and God bless you. God bless you and your family. Thank you for listening to my PowerPoint. Thank you for any opinions that you can give me on my PowerPoint. May God go with you when you are helping others and that He opens your eyes to see that we are no different than anybody else and that we have a lot to offer others when it comes to our life and how we show others how we should act when it comes to communicating how we feel and how we understand how others feel. I hope you have a great night. And again, God bless and thank you for listening to my PowerPoint. Thanks.